So, did you hear J.D. Vance's recent claims about the history of American immigration? Yeah, he was trying to make the case for basically ending all legal immigration to the U.S. That's legal with an L.
Right now, we have let in too many immigrants into the United States of America. We have got to get our overall numbers way, way down.
Yeah, he wants to stop all immigration, with one exception, which I'll get to in just a minute. Vance then went on to reference a particular chapter of American immigration history to justify this cutoff of all future immigration. Let's listen.
If you go back to the 1920s, the United States passed an Immigration Reform Act that effectively cut down immigration to close to zero for 40 years in this country.
So, a couple of things. Number one, the restriction law seriously reduced the amount of immigration, but not to practically zero. And two, this law that J.D. Vance praises was incredibly racist because it let in lots of immigrants from what were deemed racially superior nations like England and Germany, while it dramatically reduced to just a few thousand the number of immigrants from what were deemed racially inferior groups like Italians, Jews, and anyone from Southern and Eastern Europe. So that's revealing. But so is what Vance said next.
And what happened over those 40 years? The many, many people who had come from many different foreign countries and different foreign cultures, they assimilated into American culture.
See what he did there? Vance is falsely claiming that for assimilation to take place, we need to restrict all immigration. Here's the truth. Immigrants have assimilated into American society in every generation, including periods of mass migration. For example, in the 1880s and 1890s, immigrants who had arrived earlier from Ireland, Germany, and Scandinavia assimilated into American society, while millions and millions of new immigrants came from places like Italy, Poland, Greece, and Russia. What Vance is really doing here is trotting out a false version of U.S. history to justify excluding non-white immigrants. Remember, this is the guy who spread the lie that Haitian immigrants were eating dogs and cats. Vance also backs the new Trump administration's policy to radically reduce the number of refugees to the U.S. to just 7,500 a year, and that nearly all of these spots will be given to white South Africans who are making bogus claims of persecution. In other words, for Vance, some immigration in the future will be okay, just as long as it's white. We do need to reform our immigration system, but we can't do it based on lies about the history of American immigration used in the service of white nationalism.